What is going on, Dog Pound? I am finally done suffering every Sunday for the last 3-4 months. I'm done with it. Finally. So I know this is a couple weeks late for those of you that actually watch my Cleveland Browns game rant discussion videos. I just wanted to have the first couple weeks of the offseason to materialize to see if there were any big moves going on. So we'll talk about that. But first, let's talk about Game 17 for the Cleveland Browns. They were in Baltimore. They lost 35-10. What a surprise. Yes, heartbreak and disappointment continues on just a disastrous, awful, abysmal season. 3-14. In my wildest dreams, even though I knew something like this could happen, I was kind of a little optimistic. I predicted in my very first Browns video from a few months ago that we would go 10-7, which is a game worse than last year, and we'd still be on the precipice of a playoff appearance. Little did I know the Browns were just going to do Browns things and do them to a hardcore extent. So 3-14, just abysmal, disastrous, just one thing after another happened. Safe to say the Deshaun Watson experiment looks like it's going to end, as he, as we know, tore his Achilles muscle quite a few weeks ago, and then recently re-injured it to make his season, this 2025 season, in doubt, which for the Browns might be a good thing with, well, not counting the cap hit that he would take. So, whatever, but at least it looks like he won't be on the field to cause himself or the team any more embarrassment, because he's definitely not the same quarterback he was in Houston. Maybe they should bring back those massages, right? He played a lot better when he was getting massaged on a regular basis, so, hey, be that as it may, right? So, going back to that Game 17, losing 35-10 to Baltimore, Bradley Zappi, why he even got to start, I don't even know. I thought they would try to throw DTR out there just to see one last time what the guy provides, and it's not even really a backup NFL quality quarterbacking. So those two guys, I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't on the team at all. This quarterback room should look very extremely different in the offseason. I like Jameis Winston, but I don't know if he, is going to come back or not. Joe Flacco, same thing. Those guys would be great mentors for a young rookie quarterback, maybe, or maybe a better, maybe Kirk Cousins type quarterback, but even he had a very bad year in Atlanta, so I don't know where this is going to go. But so let's get into the offseason right now. So enough talking about Game 17. It just is what it is. We just finished it off. We're going to have the second overall draft pick. So if anything good comes out of that, it could be that. Second overall draft pick. Now, can we trust Andrew Berry to make the proper selection? Are you going to go for a quarterback like Cam Ward from Miami, or Shadir Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, out of Colorado? Do you want to take a quarterback, or do you want to take the best position player available that's a non-quarterback? For example, what is that? Travis Hunter from Colorado. He can play wide receiver and cornerback at a high level. That sounds like a pretty good deal there. Maybe, go with a bridge quarterback next year. Like I said, maybe a Kirk Cousins or something like that. Maybe bring back one of the guys I just mentioned, Winston or Joe Flacco, or someone else, maybe Daniel Jones, who used to play with the Giants. And there's some guys out there, but it's really not that big of a quarterback grouping out there. So do you want to throw a dart at the board and draft a quarterback that you maybe don't exactly think is going to be the next big thing? Or do you go through this next year and maybe trade down in the draft to get some more assets and maybe take your quarterback next year, but then you don't know what position you're going to be drafting next year, so all the good quarterbacks next year might be gone by the time the Browns pick. So you're taking a chance there too. So what do you do in the draft? And since Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski got to keep their jobs, well, it's up to them to get through this next upcoming season, because there's big moves to be made. And can they be trusted to make those moves? I mean, Kevin Stefanski is a 2-time coach of the year. Andrew Berry's got to come through. We're pretty handicapped when it comes to cap room with this just terrible Deshaun Watson contract just sitting there, and him not even going to be able to play all of next year, which it looks like is going to be. It's just I don't even know. It's just as a Browns fan, it really, really sucks. Really sucks. Just year after year after year since 1999, you know it's just heartbreak and disappointment and just terrible, terrible football. And every once in a while, one season they'll have a glimmer of hope, and then free falls right into the crapper once again. And that's where we're at right now, is the crapper, because besides the 0-16 and 1-15 records, 10 years ago or whatever it was, this is probably the third or fourth worst season in franchise history record, winning percentage wise. So it's just not what I expected, but it's kind of expected in a way. So I don't know. And of course there was a scapegoat. There had to be a scapegoat. So offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey was fired, the day after the last game against Baltimore, who has also moved on in the playoffs, just beating Pittsburgh recently in the wild card round. Baltimore and Pittsburgh, they know how to get the job done. I hate those teams, but there's a reason, because I'm jealous. I wish my team could be like those teams. In my whole lifetime, the Pittsburgh Steelers have had 3 head coaches. That's it. That's amazing. The Browns have had 3 head coaches in 6 years? 7 years, whatever. I mean, Stefanski's lasted long. But whatever. You get the drift. I mean, and the amount of quarterbacks the Browns have had since 1999, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. I mean, this is a franchise that has no idea what the hell they're doing. And I'm afraid, as long as they're under the current ownership of Jimmy Haslam, that, he keeps getting in the way. So, at least he's keeping the same, coach and general manager and hoping they can fix this, but if he keeps meddling, how can it really get fixed? Let the football guys do the football things. Sign the checks. So I don't know. It's just heartbreak and disappointment. So we'll see what this offseason brings. We'll see what the Browns do with that number 2 overall draft pick and also a very high second-round pick. So you can really add to the core. Hopefully the core sticks around, We don't know what Myles Garrett wants to do. Is he going to want to be traded? Nick Chubb suffered another injury, broken foot, so how is he going to be? Let's see, Owusu Koromora, is he going to be able to come back from his neck injury? I mean, we don't know these things, and those guys are the core. Denzel Ward, he's had 20 concussions in his career. So those are our most important guys right now, and who knows what's going on with them. The offensive line is getting older. You saw the gaping holes that sometimes with all the injuries in the offensive line would cause. The running attack without Nick Chubb was putrid for the most part, except for a few big runs. But other than that, we average about not even 3 yards a carry. So we didn't really get too many turnovers as a defense. We got to, up that. Our defense, after being such a great defense, the year before, where'd they go? They were on the field a lot because of our putrid offense, but, they really didn't impress me too much. So I'm really not going to be too optimistic about this next year, but the Browns have some big decisions to make. And, hey, the one thing is I don't have to ruin any more Sundays and being upset on Mondays. So right now, with the Browns out of the way, I'll take that jersey up and push it to the side for a few months. Let's root for the 34-5 first place NBA best Cleveland Cavaliers. Damn right. So, yep, Cleveland Browns, the 2024 season, 3-14. Man, let's do something here. Go Cavs. Until the next one, until the offseason, this is Don the Bomb. Go Cavs.